Hi, my name is Jay Patel. I'm a student at UC Berkeley taking Professor Lavian's IEOR 190G class on the smartphone patent war. This week, our job is to evaluate a patent we find silly and go through a list of 6 different things and analyze this patent. So I did a quick Google search, and the patent I chose to discuss was it's called heated ice cream scoop apparatus. It is filed under U.S. Patent 5131832. So I'm going to get right into my analysis. So, the key idea of this patent, what is it? Well, reading the abstract, it's an ice cream scoop that includes a ladle with an interior and exterior wall with a heating chamber in between it. The heating chamber has a vent that uses a heating mechanism to heat up the scoop. So it's the entire point of this invention is to have an ice cream scoop ladle, an ice cream scoop that is warm, so that when you put it into a tub of ice cream, it has an easier time getting through it and putting it into your plate. So that's the basic idea of this invention, and it accomplishes this task with double wall layering and with heat coils. So what's really interesting, though, what I found really funny, this is why I think it's a silly patent. It's because in the diagram, the first diagram I saw about this, it's essentially just a big ladle, like an ice cream scoop, with the middle part where you hold it hollowed out, and that's where a lighter goes, a regular lighter. So my first thought was, this doesn't really seem like anything novel or inventive, because you just put a lighter right into a ladle. That's pretty obvious. That's pretty easy to find. But as we'll find out pretty shortly, I was a little mistaken. So the validity of this patent, there are a lot of ways you can measure validity to see whether or not the patent office got this patent right. My basis on this one is the fact that 12 other patents apparently rely back on this patent. So the fact that this patent has been cited 12 times, that makes me think, okay, well, there must be some legitimacy, because 12 different times someone at the patent office has referenced this or seen this, in addition to the one time that this patent itself was evaluated. So I would say this patent is valid. Prior art, there always been pictures of ladles. There's always been pictures of little butane lighters, little cigarette lighters. So those are the two pieces of prior art I could think of. However, this one improves on that because it has a double wall layering, which is something that I guess is inventive and separates it from the prior art. So, as far as enablement goes, how to create it, how to use it, it has to be by someone skilled in the art. Again, at first glance, I thought it was kind of like the same idea as having a ladle and then, put some fire next to it and then putting it in the ice cream. I was wrong, because what this actually does is, in order to make it, you have to be able to make a double wall layering a ladle with the lighter inside of the 2 layers. So that's something I do not think is easily done, and consequently, I would argue that this passes that test. The next one, obviousness. Well, yeah, it seems obvious, like I said before, but at the same time, how many people are going to think of using double wall layering? It is, not too big of a stretch from the original idea, but you're encapsulating a lighter and then you're having 2 layers. That is, I think, enough of a improvement on just attaching a lighter to a ladle in order to warrant this passing that test. And is this a common sense patent? Pretty much, in the sense that, again, just for years, since I've been little, my parents have been, when I wanted ice cream and it's too hard to just use a spoon or a ladle by itself, heat up the ladle with hot water, heat up the ladle with fire. That's essentially the same concept here. I want to thank you for listening this week, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.